Hello class, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today's lesson would be for August 29th, 2025. Today we're going to be talking about the impact of Plessy versus Ferguson and the legalization of segregation. We're going to be talking about the changes made to the Louisiana Constitution because of Plessy versus Ferguson. And our objective for today will be students will evaluate the consequences of the Plessy versus Ferguson ruling, including its effect on the Louisiana Constitution and the spread of legalized segregation. Our bell ringer for today, separate but equal. What do you think this phrase means? Do you think it's fair? Why or why not? Changes to the Louisiana Constitution. So today we're going to be on pages 24 in the textbook, 24 in the textbook to page 25. You're going to read the section that says changes to the Louisiana Constitution, and then you'll come back and answer these questions. If you would like to, this link on the screen right here brings you to a timeline that you can see the impact of Jim Crow laws and segregation throughout U.S. history, from the beginning of settlement all the way until the Civil Rights Movement. So that's our gold question for the day. How are African Americans treated as a result of Jim Crow laws in the South? You can take a second to answer this one. And the answer would be C. African Americans were segregated from white Americans in almost all public spaces, facing discrimination and unequal treatment. So you can click on the link to the video on this slide to watch it. It's about a 4-minute long video, just giving you some insight on black codes and also Jim Crow laws during this time period. This is our second gold question for today. Which statement best explains an effect of African Americans being denied the right to vote in the early 1900s? And the answer would be C as well. The loss of voting rights limited African Americans' ability to influence laws and policies that affected their communities. This is your DOK question for the day. How did the Louisiana Constitution change from 1879 to 1898, and what were some of the effects of these changes? This primary source, so we have two primary sources for today. The first one is Justice Harlan's dissent from Plessy versus Ferguson case. This primary source is basically talking about Justice Harlan's opinion on the case and opinion on civil rights in the United States. I want you to read this and take note of the way he talks about how individuals should be treated, not based off of their color, but based off of their class of citizenship. And this is your big primary source for the day. These 4 sections right here are all sections from the Louisiana Constitution of 1898. These were the changes made to the Louisiana Constitution in order to disenfranchise African Americans. Okay, so you're going to read these different sections of the Constitution, and you're going to answer the 3 questions on the board or on the screen. Okay, what is the voting restriction that each section of this Constitution is discussing? So you're going to note each voting restriction each of these sections is discussing. Why do you think all these things? Why do you think of all things, Louisiana government wanted to restrict African American voting rights? Okay, and then why did property ownership and the grandfather clause drop the number of African American voters by so much? And then your DOK question for the day. How did the Louisiana Constitution change from 1879 to 1898? And what were some of the effects of the changes? So what changed from the Louisiana Constitution from 1879 to the Louisiana Constitution of 1898? And how did that affect not only African Americans, but other individuals as well?